Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome back. Today I'm going to try and keep it simple, mostly because yesterday was crazy as far as me trying to make the previous heart. So I'm going to try and keep it simple. I'm using 3 squares from this little mini charm pack, I think is what they call it. And this is called Renew. It's from Moda. And yeah, mini charm pack. There you go. And so I pulled 3 of them out, and you'll see that these have a, I had the word a few minutes ago. Pinking shear edge. Pinking shears. You'll see the edges are, well, when they're like that, they give off a lot of little floofy things. So, excuse me, I very carefully, well, mostly carefully, chose to just trim those off with a straight scissors, and I did it over my little can of goodies. And I am going to do this heart. Now I had this all set up the way I wanted it, but I wanted to take it apart so that I could show you what I'm doing. And I think it's just going to be straight stitching today. I pulled out this Wonderfill Pearl Cotton size 8 from the Eleganza. This is Sue Spargo thread. Wonderfill, and you can get 12 balls in a package like this if you find a store or buy it online like that, I believe, from Sue Spargo. Not sure. I get mine at a store called Artistic Artifacts, which you can find online. They do ship. And it is located in Alexandria, Virginia. So, I am trying to make sure that I have this on the edges. Now, these do not, interestingly enough, line up in the center. I had to trim my heart down a little bit because, gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. The base heart, I mean, because it was sticking out on the sides a little bit. So I think I've got it. That's a little close on that side. I might pull that one out just a teensy bit that way, but then all right. And then of course when I put the pins in, it sort of puckers it some. That was the other word I was looking for the other day. Pucker. Pucker, pucker, pucker. What a funny word. Pucker. Hello, thread. And I just love these little hearts here, so they are staying in place. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to put that down there. So, I'm trying to stay on camera. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping this thread, hold that thought. I am hoping this thread doesn't seem too thick for what I want to do. And I, of course, should have threaded it before I started the camera, but I did not. Oops. By golly, I thought I had it. Fooled me. So I do hope that this finds everybody doing well. I'm fine, but it's still allergy season, even though I've not poked my head outside today because, well, it is only going up to 43 and the wind is blowing and it seems a lot colder than 43. But I have a froggy in my throat again. So I do apologize for that. And am I going to go to my fallback fly stitch here? Probably. It's really easy, and I like the way it covers, and I need the practice to make it better. So why not? Right? Now I know there's different versions of the fly stitch. However, sometimes I leave a long strand here, and sometimes I don't. I don't know if that makes it a different stitch or not. I'm not all about the technical part of this, so please excuse me if you're looking for that. I'm probably not the person to watch for the technical side of stitches. I just like to play. I do have 2 books for any of you that are new here, and oh goodness, I don't have them here with me. I will show them in the next video. But I do have, when I just want to have an easy day of stitching, I do just the simple stitches that are easy and make me happy to do. So, let's put it that way, where I don't have to think too much. If I don't have to think too much, I'm a much happier person. I overthink everything as it is. So I don't know, I'm going to zoom in just a teensy bit on this. I think they sort of look like flying geese, don't they? Now this needle is probably a little larger, oops, than I wanted to use. However, the thread does fit through it, so there's that. I have some specialty needles, but I don't, once I take them out of the package, they get mixed in with my other needles in my needle book, and I don't really keep them separate, and I don't keep track of which ones are which. So I don't do this because I want to be technically correct. I do this because it eases my sometimes anxiety, and it also is something I can do with my hands, so I don't think about eating. And it's just something that I enjoy so much. I mean, I remember embroidering flowers and stuff on words and stuff like that on my bell-bottom jeans in the 70s. When I was a teenager in the early 70s, the very early 70s. So, and I have no idea where I learned how to embroider. Isn't that funny that I can't remember? I hate it. I'm upset that I can't remember. Are these perfect? No. Am I sweating it? No. Because I spent a long time sweating what I was doing yesterday on the heart with the yo-yos in the previous video. And I didn't want to sweat it today. So I am just having fun. That's all I'm going to do is have fun. So I hope you have picked up something to stitch and that you are having something yummy to drink. I didn't bring anything yummy to drink. I should start bringing tea in when I'm going to do a video. But I did not, so it is what it is. Oops, sorry for jiggling the table. So today is a very sunny day. Yay. Yay for sunshine. However, it's deceiving because normally in March, this time of March, so this one is attached, that one is attached. I just have to, and see, when I did these stitches, it did pull in a little bit so I can see the edge of the base heart, but that's okay. I can always trim that back if I want to. Okay, I have to think. Hold on a second. I want to do a different stitch here, but I'll have to remember what I'm doing. Oops, that knot was not tight enough, or large enough rather. Oh, wasn't there at all, actually. Now I forgot what I was saying. Sunny. It's sunny, but deceiving because it's very cold out. And windy, so it feels even colder than it really is. All right, let's see if I can do this. Now that's going to get trimmed just a little bit, but that's going to overhang. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm not worried about it. I am just having fun. I hope. So, another day where we are not going out. Tony went for his walk and said, "It's a lot colder out there than it looks." I said, "Yeah, I know. That's why I look at my phone and read the weather before I decide whether I'm going anywhere or not." And we were going to go somewhere, take a little ride. Oops. Okay. But, the place we were going to go is closed today, which is Sunday. So we are going to take our van and do a little local travel road trip. We're going to pack a lunch. Now I hate when that happens. I don't know why it happens. So I'm doing the lazy daisy stitch. And sometimes it doesn't come out so well. I'm going to untwist my thread. There. I just let it hang. And after a few stitches, I let it untwist because as you're working it, it twists a lot. And I find that I personally have trouble with the threads knotting and stuff like that if I don't do that every few stitches. So there, that one came out well. I'm happy with that one. Oops, sorry. I have my phone plugged in as I'm stitching, as it's recording, and sometimes I move my arm in a way that touches the cord, the charging cord. So oops. Okay. Am I making this more complicated than it needed to be? Yes. Of course. But that's okay. It's about to get simpler. So the weather is supposed to warm up this week, which we are extremely happy about. I don't do well in hot weather, and I certainly don't do well in humid weather. But I love spring and fall usually, unless it brings rain and bad storms. then don't like it so much. But anywho's, there was supposed to be a lot of rain in the forecast for this week, but they removed it all except for a couple days, so I'm happy about that. Okay. So I am going to put a knot there just because for my peace of mind, if I carry on to another section and do other stitches, I like to know that these are anchored in case something happens with the other stitches and I have to cut that part out. That part's knotted. I don't know if anybody else does that. So I am going to take these off. I may regret that later on, but I'm going to take the zigzaggy part off. Hold that thought for one moment. Try not to knock into you. Oh, no. Oh, you won't believe what I just did. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Okay, I'm coming. Maybe, if I don't fall out of the chair. Oh, sorry about that. This just dumped upside down all over my carpet. Yeah. Okay. Everything went a-tumbling. I'm going to just cut these off. And the reason I may regret it later is this fabric unravels really easily. But I just need this little bit of extra space there. I might as well do this side while I'm at it. I had trimmed it down a couple of times, but not very much. And these squares are supposed to be 2.5 inches, but my hearts are about 4.5 to 5 inches at the widest part. Not anymore. This one isn't. This is now a lot smaller. So I'm just adapting. Just trying to adapt to the situation. And as you stitch, you know, it pulls the fabric you're stitching on in a little bit. Oops. Well, that wasn't very good, but that's okay. Oops. Oh my gosh. Go down there. Where you belong. I usually just like take threads and just dump them down there, and that's where the little can sits. Alrighty. Now I'm happier. So all 3 of these are on. And I probably park this over here for a minute. You stay there. Now what I should do is at least cut some of this off so I see the shape I'm aiming for. Okay. There we go. And I'm leaving an edge because as I've said in other videos, and as you saw here, as you stitch, it pulls that fabric in. So I'm trying to give myself a little grace space there. Ouch. Cramp in the hand. Okay. There. Now I'm happier. And you go into the little tin. Find my needle. Okay. So, let's get started with my plan here. Oops. So I've had many people ask me, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but if you're new here, you may not have watched them. Go back and watch them. What I'm going to use these for. And some of the ideas that I've had some of the ideas I've had are that I will use them for patches, jeans, jackets, shirts, shorts, whatever. I can put, or bags, you know, you can put them on canvas shopping bags. You can put them on zipper pouches, which is something I'm going to do, is use some of them on zipper pouches like these. Let me pull this camera out a little bit. There, like these. And I have smaller ones like that. You can find these on Amazon. You can also find them in some stores. And, okay, zoom you back in a little bit. And then also there's a program called I Found a Quilted Heart. Now, granted, the ones I've made so far aren't really quilted, but I've seen some on that Facebook page, and there is a website called I Found a Quilted Heart, or if you type that into a search engine, then it should pop up. But there is a Facebook page as well, and I think that I will make some that are just on quilt batting. I'll use like this. I have a ton of quilt batting downstairs. I think in the UK, maybe Australia, you guys call it wadding, but it's the thin stuff that goes in between quilt layers. So a lot of my wall hangings and such, they are on quilt batting because it's really easy to sew through, like way easier than this fabric here. So I'm going to do some on there, and then I can back them probably with a plain fabric, or I could put them back to back. So my next batch, I cut, I think, about 50 of these base hearts out, and the next 50, I mean, we're only on 26 today, which, by the way, I think I forgot to say, day 26 of the 100-day project, and me making 100 hearts. So, yeah, there's that. And I think the next 50 I will put on quilt batting, and that way if I want to use them for the I Found a Quilted Heart project, which is just leaving a heart in public. Ow. And the website does give you guidelines on what a public place should or should not consist of. Like national parks, you're not allowed to leave them in national parks, and some other places. So you leave them with a little tag that says, you know, I need a home. And I think you either put the Facebook page or the website or something. I can't remember. I really need to search that better. I have not done a lot of research on it yet. Mostly because I'm just having fun making. So, yeah, it's all about just enjoying what you're doing And for now, I'm not sweating what to use them for. I am just making them because I can. And because I've really gotten into a sort of a groove, with making them. And I'm really enjoying it. And I'm playing thread chicken again. I don't know why, because I've got plenty of thread. I'm just frugal that way. You got to get it down to the last stitch. Don't want to waste it. Waste not, want not. Oh, and then you blow it like that. Excuse me while I try and get this threaded. Come on, baby. Yay. All right. I'll tie you off. You've made your point. I need a shorter needle. Long needles and I do not get along at all. We just don't. Oop, oop. All right, let me show you my needle book. This is my needle book I made. I haven't shown this in a while. It's not very big. This is my hand, which also is not very big. The only thing I would do different is I would not put pins here and needles here. I would just use the pages. I did double up on the felt. Unfortunately, this is not 100% wool felt. I can't find 100% wool felt around here. The sewing stores don't have it. The quilt stores that I've looked in don't have it. And if you buy it online, it's quite expensive. So it's a little frustrating, but this is for these scissors here. That's for them. And then if you put the button there, it helps keep them from falling out. Helps, doesn't prevent them totally 100%. So these are chenille needles, and these are just needles that I got out of either an embroidery pack or just a regular sewing pack. These are quilting needles, but they're long and they're great for like if you're doing knots, but they're not very strong. They bend easily. This is a dowel making needle for doing cast on. It's one long needle for doing cast on stitches. And then these say embroidery, but they're really just the big holes, the needles with the larger holes. So anyway, that's my needle book. So if you're new here, that's one of my supplies I use regularly. I'm going to try this needle here and not. It's bigger than I want, thicker than I want, but I'm tired of stabbing my fingers so much. And I need another strand of thread. Yep. And you get to be tortured with me threading a needle again. Oh, look. Yay. So tomorrow we're going to go to a quilt shop because I love those little, I love working with the little minis, these little mini charms. They're just fun, like because they match and you don't have to think too much about matching them. You know? Okay. I know I've twirled this thing around like 5 times now. I'm trying to get it so that when I do this, I'm getting a straight line. Or a straighter line than I've been getting. Because straight lines elude me. The downfall of having really long thread. But, again, because it's doing that to me, knotting up, I hung it over the edge of the chair and let it twirl, and I'll bet you I don't have as much trouble now. Unless I just jinxed myself. And being Irish, that's something I believe in. No, see how it's not twisting and on itself now? So if you just let it hang off the edge of your chair, now see, if this is sewn on as patch, I'm just going to whip stitch around it or do the blanket stitch or something along that line. Oh, I did that a little closer than I wanted to, but I figured I've done so many circles that I'd go for a square pattern today. I've done circles several times. And there are people out on the golf course today. I don't know how many videos I'm going to get done in the next couple of weeks, because at some point they were supposed to do it this weekend, but they did not. They're supposed to be cutting down a bunch of trees, and it's supposed to take 3 days. They were supposed to start Friday and end today. But for some reason, they didn't do it. They didn't start. I got an email saying that's what they were going to do, but I didn't get an email that said why they weren't doing it today or this weekend. So okay, now I'm going to go off in a whole different direction here. As I tend to do. But that's because we're allowed to. So I'm not a rule follower when it comes to, you know, it should be done this way and your threads should look like this. I saw a post on Facebook where somebody entered their piece into a competition and they were not awarded anything, I guess is the best way to say it, because they said their stitches were too loose. But see, if your stitches are too tight, then you get puckering. So, I mean, I am not following the rules. I know if anything of mine ever got put into judging, I know for sure it would be like, she's disqualified. She shouldn't even be here. It would be like me trying to join a singing contest, going to American Idol. Yeah, no. Like, I'd have no business being there. But I like what I do, so I'm okay with it. And that's all that I care about at my age. Gosh, I can't believe I'm going to be 67 in a month, 2 months. 2 months' time. Golly. How'd that happen? I don't feel like I'm 67. Well, okay, that's not true. Feelings-wise, as far as physically, I do feel like I'm 67 most days. But I just don't know where the time went. Especially the older I got, the faster it went. My mother used to say, the hurrier I go, the behinder I get. but that's not... I don't feel like I'm going backwards. I feel like I'm on fast forward. Which all of you are missing this conversation if that's what you do. Just put it on fast forward, see what she's doing, and get it over with. That's okay. If you're viewing it, I'm happy. Oops. If you subscribe, I'm even happier. If you give me a thumbs up, I'm pretty thrilled. And if you haven't been here before, you know me and this wool mat have a love-hate relationship. I love it because I can stick my pins and needles in it and things don't roll off of it, and it's great for beading and all of that. But if I have thin leggings on, it goes right through my... I need a towel or something on my lap under between the wool mat and... No, that's not what I want. Bear with me. This one's coming out. Because wool and I do not get along. But it's great because, like I said, things don't roll off of it. Stick pins and needles in it. And you can iron on it. Now, I did use it to iron some things the other day. In fact, I ironed all of these hearts in one day last week, and okay, Martha, quit being lazy. Life is simpler if you make it simple. Thank you. And I used a spray bottle with water instead of the steam on the iron because the steam on the iron didn't really do a great job. Because this fabric is very heavy. I know why it's looking like it's too close, because that line is off. It's wobbly. Wonky. Wobbly. It's not wobbling. It's just wonky. So I used the spray bottle, and the underside of the mat, actually, the water from the steam, the mat soaked it up, and you could feel it on the underside. So what I did was I just set it in the sun. That comes in, I'll show you the sunshine. Sunshine comes in my door. So that's why I love sitting in here and stitching. Okay. I forgot to go that way. Well, that was pretty stupid, wasn't it? Oh, well. And get to yapping. Totally forgot. It was supposed to be a square, but now it's going to be a different kind of square. Itchy nose. So all of our trees, like the forsythia, the Bradford pear trees, the big white ones, the cherry blossom trees, all of those around here have all bloomed. And now the leaves are coming out green, as they do after the blooms go away. So next will be the oak trees all blooming or budding, and those coming out as leaves. And the maples and the oaks and the gum trees and the Japanese maple we have in the backyard. Ow, that hurt. But I didn't say a bad word. So I don't have to edit that out. Thank goodness. All right. that's done. Now I have to do the top. Easy enough. Easy enough, but not, because you have curved edges. So a little trickier to do in straight lines, but that's all right. Yeah, if you want to find these wool mats, yes, I bounce all over the place when I speak, I know. Thought processes. If you want to get one of these wool mats, this one I actually cut in half. So it's got square edges down here, but it comes with rounded edges. I cut this in half because small lap, and this fits on me much better. Plus, it fits in the cabinet of my van when we travel. Untangle the thread. Okay. You know what? I want to start this a different way. This is really bothering me. Hold that thought. It's really making my legs itch today. I'm a work in progress and will be for the rest of my life, because I'm still figuring it all out. Anybody else feel that way? Like you're trying to figure out who you are, what you are, where you belong? I don't think that's going to work the way I want it to, though, if I start it that way. Oh, what the heck. Okay. This may be all wonky doodle, but it's going to be the way I'm going to do it. Yeah, it's wonky doodle already. Alrighty. I think I'm definitely gonna regret doing it this way. But so be it. Already started it. Now I'm stuck with it. Not really. I could tear it out, but then that would be torturing you guys. And the reason I'm not going in and out, I've explained in other videos, because this backing fabric is a really tight weave, and I'm already struggling to get my needle in and out of it, just stabbing like this, so. In and out it is. Up and down, back and forth. Do you have any favorite stitchers that you like to watch on YouTube that you've learned a lot from, or you like their style? Let me know below. I like to watch Susie Q Makes. I like to watch Christine, who is, I'm going to have to look. Craft and Create with Christine, I think it is. I'm sorry, Christine. If you're watching this, I apologize. Let me see. Let me see who she is. Come on. Create and Craft with Christine. Love watching her. Lots of people are doing the Roxy Creations. With Sarah and Rachel. I opted not to do that because prompts and rules and that kind of stuff. I hosted a thing with prompts and rules, and I struggled with it. I was the one coming up with some of the prompts, me and another person. So yeah, figured out then it wasn't really my thing. So phew, it's getting warm in this room with the sun shining in here. I'm going to go out into the other room and be cold. Happens every day. And I should have opened the door before I started, but forgot. If I get up now, I'd have to stop the camera. This is going to go long, so I hope you're speeding these up. You know, if you go to the little cog wheel, most of the time it's up in the corner if you're watching on an iPad or iPhone or something of that sort. If you go into the cog in the corner, you can speed it up to like 1.25 or 1.5. Or if you turn the sound down, you don't want to hear me at all, you can speed it up even faster than that. Otherwise, I would sound like a little mouse chirping. Uh-oh. That's going to be very close to that edge and taking a risk, but that's okay. We'll fly with it for the moment. Do another stitch there. That should help lock it in. Whew, I'm getting hot. Wowza. Oopsies. A little bit large. Not happy the stitches are so large, but again, just going with the flow. This is where I'm going to tack this little corner down here. And I'm going to come up this way, and I'm feeling the edge of the heart underneath the base fabric heart. Okay. And then I'm going to do one here. And I'm going to come back and do a row here. Nope, not there. right here. Ow! I yelp like a little puppy. Okay, I'm not happy that that's sticking up there, so I'm going to just tack that down with a little tiny, nearly invisible stitch. And I want to come, I need to finish that edge right there. So I think if I just, when I want to cheat, I'm going to put a knot in there, come across, and I'm going to go here. Trying to keep it as straight line as I can. And go along the edge here. And I'll do what I did before and come back and do in between there. Okay, so I'm going to come up here. Oops, not quite. Missed the mark there. If you don't like it, take it out. If it's going to really bug you, take it out. I try not to be overly picky, but if you know me at all, I don't practice that well. Not being overly picky, that is. Is it wonky? Yes. It's okay. It's all right to be a little wonky. It's all right to be a little wonky. See, I told you. No American Idol for me. Okay. All right. One more side, and I will try to be quick about it. I won't do what I did on that side because I didn't like it. This side here. Didn't like it. Not thrilled with it, but it's okay. It's staying where it is. I keep looking over at that mess I have to clean up on the carpet from me dumping the Ort tin. I don't have an Ort jar, I have an Ort tin. Which I do have plans for using the threads and little bits of fabric that are in it. Well, not a plan. I have a thought. That's how this all starts. Like, when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't go back to sleep and I have thoughts that invade my brain. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go in. I think I'm just going to go straight across. I start thinking about what the next heart is going to look like. Excuse me. I started with an idea today, but I thought, no, I did a labor-intensive one yesterday, and potentially this one wouldn't be labor-intensive, but it could turn into that. So I'm thinking I'll save it for another day. However, it's in my brain. And once something is in my brain, then sometimes it's kind of stuck there. I did see a video on it. I do believe it was either an Instagram video or a video on Facebook. Like they pop up these ads, or it was on TikTok. And the government is talking about banning TikTok in the US. So if I want to find it, I better go quick and find it. But anywho, you take a small piece of fabric. The person took a round piece, and I tried it with the round piece this morning, and it looks really cool. But I also want to try it with square pieces and see what I get. Which reminds me, Susan at Susie Q Makes, she showed on a video this morning that she is going to start a project based on Sarah Humphrey. It's Humfray, I believe, Humphrey. A stitch book where she stitched in it like one page a month for a year or something along that line. But anyway, Susan showed square Suffolk puffs. They were large, not small ones. I'm going to try that too. I think she did them in a video a while back, like maybe a year or more ago. But I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Where she did them on screen and showed how she did them. So, but that would be fun. Square Suffolk puffs. I'm doing these way too close together. This is going to take the rest of the day. I don't mean to. I like really little close together stitches a lot. But we don't have that kind of time in a video. So I really need to spread them out a little more. I know I'm going off camera when I do that, but oh, I can't help it. There's no room for my right arm to stretch far enough, because just to my right and above me, well, to the right is the table that holds the camera arm, the phone arm, whatever you want to call it. And above me is the camera arm. And I don't want to be putting my big fat hand up in front of your face all the time. So I'm trying to pull away. Sometimes it's easier to pull this away like that. But then it takes it out of the screenshot. Okay. Now I'm right at the edge. Ugh. For a tightly woven fabric, this fabric underneath can fray like crazy. So I have to be careful with the edges. Oops. Sorry. I hit the charging wire. I'm afraid if I come towards my face, I'm just going to stab an eye out. So I guess that would be something I would do. So I'm excited for us to go on our little road trip tomorrow. We'll take the van out for a ride because, you know, you have to run the engine once a week or so things don't get clogged up and nasty in there. And we'll take our lunch because we have a refrigerator in the van. And I'll make salads for us. And I don't think there's anywhere vegan up there that we can eat where this little quilt shop is. I don't know if she'll have anything as far as the minis, but it's something to do. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be 53 or so. 10 degrees warmer than it is today. Hopefully not windy. Because the van blows around in the wind, I'll tell you what. 10 feet tall. Get near some open spaces and the wind is blowing. You can feel it blowing sideways. It's a little spooky. There. Almost done. Just over an hour. Got one little last bit to do up here. And day 26 will be in the books. I was going through my hearts today and I thought, I skipped a day. I couldn't find one. Based on the numbers I wrote right on the back in pencil. I was like, no, I'm off a day. But I wasn't. There. Yay. It's done. I like the yellow. It's very subtle. Matches the fabrics. Doesn't stand out too harshly. I didn't have to use white again. White gets boring after a while for me. So I'm very happy with it. All right. All right. So 26. 26. Do write the numbers a little darker, I found. Okay. So there it is up close with some light on it. I never had the light shining towards me the whole time. That's silly. All the little stitches, the little writing. 26 in the books. Thank you for joining me. This was fun, relaxing. Makes me happy. Hope you are having a great weekend. If this is the weekend when you're watching it, it's Sunday here, so it's a weekend for me. And have yourself a great week and have yourself a great day, whatever it is. Thank you very much. I love you for joining me. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I love reading your comments. I try to answer them all. And take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Stay well. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.